Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of CSGO News. We're going to start this episode off right and doing something that all of you guys probably love to do, and that is trash talking Valve. Now, we had the honor of unveiling this clip this past weekend a couple of days ago during the ESL Pro League Finals. Xfinity played this clip of several pro players out there, and I think we can all agree a few weeks ago when Valve decided to nerf the UMP that many pro players took to Twitter, Facebook, all the forums out there to discuss why the UMP was still overpowered and it was still very heavily used over rifles because it was still overpowered. So here's a clip of that, guys. Several pro players taking time to roast Valve on their nerfing the UMP. So here's what they said about that.
The new update haven't really changed that much.
Valve updates on the bigger picture for the game in general have always been good.
I think they can do better.
It's changed a little bit the meta, but not too much.
On the other side, I think the UMP nerf has been completely useless.
Even if I have an AK or M4, I'll drop my teammates that whatever gun I'm holding and just buy an ump.
The ump still is like insane.
I also read about some stats about it. It haven't really changed anything.
If you're gonna change the UMP, you need to change the pistols as well, because you're gonna lose every second round.
The update is a bit confusing for us.
You don't use the UMP for long distance anyway, and that's the thing that nerfed.
It's a good adjustment, but I don't think it's solving the root of the problem.
I think they have to nerf it again, and
they need to change some more.
I just wish they could have more specifics in fixing the competitive side.
And also some pretty cool news, we had Nick Bunyun, a very large CSGO YouTuber many of you guys know about. He got married this past weekend, so congrats to him. I know we've had our faults in the past because I'm a very mean person. I made big mistakes. A quick picture montage of that, so congratulations, Nick, and best of luck to you in your future with you and your wife. Now, also moving on, guys, we do have, in more important news, Virtus Pro relegation news. Now, many of you guys know we've had ESL in the past bend their rules to Virtus Pro for them to make ESL Pro League, especially in the last season. We've had some issues going on, which people thought was very controversial. Also, they have now decided to change their rules again for the relegation process. Now, Virtus Pro is one of the 4 teams on screen who was sent to relegation for Season 6. They have changed the rules again, though. It does go like this. For Season 25, the upcoming season of Premier, that will not be linked to ESL Pro League, meaning there's no qualification. If you win Season 25, you're not going to be guaranteed a spot in ESL Pro League, but Season 26 will be connected. So Virtus Pro has gone ahead. They had the option, being sent to relegation, they had the option to decline Season 25 and still compete in Season 26 of Premier or Mountain Dew League season, and Season 26 will be connected. So Virtus Pro has now declined Season 25. It makes sense. It's really kind of pointless to go there for a big team like that. They will be in Season 26, though, as of right now, to qualify for the next season of ESL Pro League. Now, if it wasn't going to be done like this, ESL was probably going to invite them or have some kind of handout. So this is the best way of doing it. So congrats to Virtus Pro. They have declined Season 25. They'll be going to Season 26, and best of luck to all those other teams out there. One of those teams actually going to be in ESCA this year, a brand new team out there going to be called Diffuse Kids, and they are stacked with experience. They have players like Witten that played alongside Michael Lilly and Team ESG for a short while. They obviously disbanded that team. They will have Witten, Crucial, and the rest of the roster on screen for all of you. One of the more diverse new CSGO rosters out there right now. Obviously a very new roster. I really don't have too many expectations for them in ESCA, but they have a lot of experience on that roster. So you have a Hungarian, a Belgian, a Dutchman, and 2 Swedish men that walk into a bar. What do you have? You have Diffuse Kids, one of the more diverse rosters in CSGO as of right now. Also bouncing out that, guys, many of you know we had EPL in the Chinese scene really trying to explode in CSGO as of right now. Going to be really good for CSGO in the future. We have new Chinese teams popping up out of nowhere. This one probably going to be likely to be a top Chinese team, at least top 5 in the future, and that will be Invictus Gaming. Invictus Gaming actually very well known for their league team, especially their Dota 2 team. Their Dota 2 team, I believe, won the International back in 2012, so a somewhat wealthy roster and organization over there. Invictus Gaming will be joining the Chinese CSGO scene and the CSGO scene in general as of right now. According to Joe Cardali, our HLTV man, I'll link his Twitter down below as well as put it on screen for all of you. The roster will be the following players, and please forgive me, you guys probably do not know any of these players. The Chinese members out there have really weird names. So it's going to be Einery, 813, WJW, Spinach, and Killin will be the roster as of right now for this new Chinese roster. So best of luck to them. Will they be a Chinese powerhouse? Maybe way in the future. It's going to be cool to see as more and more Chinese teams do flood the scene. So this shirt cost me $2. You guys like that skin? The lady at the checkout counter obviously felt bad for me because she realized that shirt does not fit that kid, and she probably just felt bad for me. Either way, though, I do want to talk about now ESL Pro League Season 5 Finals. A warning for all of you as well. This will be spoilers. I know in the past I've talked about tournaments, even though it's 2 days afterwards. I'm not even close to being early on this story. I do want to warn all of you guys, these are spoilers. I had a comment section full of hate last time. One dude in particular, he was like, "Yo, you dick douchebag dude. Next time, warn me before you spoil results." Apparently, he hadn't watched the tournament yet, so I am sorry, guys. Here are your warnings for that. Now, first off, I want to talk about the tournament formatting issue. We had 2 groups groups of 6 round-robin format, which did cause a lot of tiebreakers, a lot of three-way ties, two-way ties. Group A had a three-way tie. Group B had a two-way tie between the teams. Now, I do want to clarify there were tiebreakers, obviously, for the teams who won. G2 won Group A and North won Group B, fair and square with tiebreakers, but tiebreakers are very short. Anything can happen in those, and when you have a three-way tie and you realize that a team got the same record as you and they got to skip to the semis, it does create controversy and be somewhat unfair. I know we had several pro players tweet out about that kind of stuff. So in this format, I never agree with any format where a team gets to skip to the semifinals, but it did in this case work out. G2 and North were your two best teams in this tournament, at least on their sides of the bracket. So it was G2 won that three-way tie over there and North who won their side of things. But to prove this format can have issues, it was actually two of the teams who were in second place in both those groups. It was Mouse Sports and Envious who actually lost in the quarterfinals, although they had the same record as G2 and North. So they could have skipped the semifinals if they'd won their tiebreaker. So it goes to show you it can be kind of unfair in some formats. Now, it was SK who swept Mouse Sports in the quarterfinal over there, and it was Liquid who beat Envious 2-1. Now, in the semifinals moving forward as well, it was actually G2 who swept SK, both 16-12 matches, and we had North over Liquid, kind of a more dominant series there. They beat them 16-5 on Nuke, and it did go to overtime on map 2, but still you could tell North was a better team as well. 19-17 map 2 there. So 2 sweeps in the semis made it a G2 North final. And in that final, it was G2 who took the series 3-1 in a best-of-5 final. Best-of-5 is becoming very popular throughout 2017 so far, and hopefully in the future as well, for determining who the best team really is. Now, G2 dominated the entire tournament as well as this entire series against North. They lost 2 maps throughout the entire tournament and did in such cunning fashion. You know, you look back on their season starting out 1-8, what a comeback story about this. Definitely one of a kind, certainly probably the only team ever in ESL history to actually come back from starting out in the league 1-8 to coming back to winning the entire tournament. Certainly probably a one of a kind story there, and definitely led by Kenny S, who earned his MVP medal here, though if you could give secondary nominations for MVP, it will be Body as well. But Kenny S, I'm holding back on actually giving this guy so many commendations, guys, because what a great player to watch. Many of you guys probably watched afterwards as well. Throughout the entire tournament, obviously some MVP star talent there from Kenny S himself. What a great leader, a great guy to watch emotionally as well. Holding back tears when the actual tournament was over, the last map ended. He stood up on his desk, warmed up the crowd like that, and was holding back tears throughout his entire interviews as well. So a great congrats to him and his team out there. G2, the French super team, is now back. Their first tournament title together after 3 to 4 months of struggle. They have now won their first title and are certainly on the map as one of the best teams in the world as we speak. But some issues that have been very prevalent throughout tournaments, not only in 2017 but also the last couple years, and that is the crowd. The crowd helping out CSGO pro players as they somewhat cheat or make instances a little less fun for everyone else who's actually watching online and not there in LAN. Now, we've had LAN events in the past, both North American fans, European fans, Brazilian fans, pretty much any fan base out there has probably tried or attempted to cheat out there and ruin the experience for everyone else. We've had several pro players out there, MSL, Dupree. We've also had Fnatic Dennis coming out and saying we need boosts at future events. I want to know what you guys think down below. Please comment down below. What do you guys want in the future of CSGO? Do you think pro players need boosts to actually stop people from cheating? I think it was very prevalent at ESO Pro League. They said because there were no soundproof boosts, there were groups of people who were yelling so loud they could hear where the other team was going by simply the crowd saying they're going A, they're going B, this and this is happening. It not only ruins clutch moments, it ruins sneaky moments as well as very fun moments online for all of us who are not there in person to watch. And on top of that, we have very few pro players out there. I guess Pasha Biceps and one of the few pro players out there who think soundproof boosts are actually not needed, but it definitely seems in the future for big events like this one where you have several $100,000s on the line, maybe soundproof boosts are actually very needed for a future of CSGO. And very last in today's episode of CSGO News, I was waiting for this story to drop. It just did, guys. Heroic has announced their newest Danish member, which will be Easy Tag from the Danish team, Team Singularity. He's also a Danish member himself. It was between him and Cadian. Now, it does seem going forward, Heroic's full roster on screen for all of you. Cadian is still in search of a team, but I do think some team out there is certainly interested because he's been tweeting very frequently. As a pro player, you don't often tweet out emojis unless some team is after you. So Cadian, I think likely an option for him could be either North Academy or more likely Tricked Esports, the Danish organization, who recently has actually announced they will not be re-signing their current CSGO roster. It does seem by the end of June or mid to late June, their current CSGO roster for Tricked Esports on screen for all of you guys will not be re-signed. They'll be going out and fielding other offers. So Tricked Esports, definitely an open option, more likely than actual North Academy. Why I do say North Academy though is Team Rogue. If you guys go to Cadian's former team Rogue, their ESCA roster is now completely the former North Academy team. So if you search up Rogue GG for their ESCA roster, it's now the full entire North Academy roster. So Cadian, it does seem likely, maybe Tricked Esports, maybe North Academy, one of the other guys in the future. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode. Thank you all for watching this episode of CSGO News. Please leave a comment down below, guys. I'm going to try and reply to every single comment. As always, live, love, laugh, lot. Remember, my name is Jake. Remember, I like you. I will see you all tomorrow, and more great videos coming soon. Remember, I like you.